Hello guys, back again with another video. So now in this video I'm going to be showing you how we can run SQL in our terminal and also in bash script. So now here you need to have your MySQL installed on your machine, and in case it is done, just come and say sudo systemctl start MySQL. So if I press enter to that, they might ask you for a password. Make sure you provide it. I can come here and change this to status to make sure that our MySQL server is running. To exit, I'll type Q and I'm going to clear my terminal. So now we have our server which is running. The remaining thing to do is to just go on and run SQL commands in our terminal. So now to run our SQL, you just say MySQL, then say -u. Here you need to provide the username of somebody who is administering the database. Now if we say -p, we need to provide it a password. Now for a password, it will be, let's say, stupid, which we are not. It will be written like that. But of course, if you write it like this, you'll be making your server vulnerable to hackers because you'll be exposing your password in plain text. So yes, just remove this. We are not stupid, we are wise. So now here with a -p, we shall just put a space, and to write our SQLs we shall say -e. So our SQL commands, we shall put them in quotes, and this is where we need to write them. So now here I'm going to just say show databases. So when I say show databases, I can even just go on and terminate this, or let's first try without terminating and see whether it will return back an error. So if I execute that and type my password, enter. So here there's access denied to that user because I typed the wrong password. Let's come back and type a correct password. So you see that if I type a correct password, all our database will be dumped inside our terminal. I'm executing all SQL commands just within a terminal. So now when you try to see here, we have a database called school, we have phpMyAdmin. We can choose any specific database that we want. So now to explicitly choose a database or any specified database, we can use a -d. So here we shall say MySQL -u, we say root, then -p for a password. Now here we can say the D should be in capital letters. So now here if we say -e, we can say school, which is a specific database. So it should be like this, school. Then if we come to a -e, this is where we are going to write our SQL. So here let us just say show tables, since this one is a database. So if we say show tables and I press enter, they will ask the password for a database. You see that they will list all information in our database, specifically which are tables. We can go on and release information from these tables, whereby we can just come here and change this. So if I come here, since we are using school, I'm going to just say select. We want to select all from our clients table. So I'm going to say from client. So if I go on and run this, provide a password to my database, you see that they list all information from our clients table. Now when you try to see here, all our information is listed in our tables, and also we have our column names. We can go on, let's say we don't want to list the column names or our tables, we can just use a -b, which will remove the columns or which are borders, and we shall use a -n to remove the titles or column names. So if I just come here, I'm going to say -n, which is a capital N, just like that, and press enter, type the password for my database. You will see that the titles, which are client ID, client name, and branch ID, have been removed. Now in case I don't want to have the borders and I need this information to be listed, or now the way it will be displayed, it is that they will use tabs to put a space between these two columns. So I'm going to just press enter instead of an N. Let's say I want to remove that, we shall use a -B, and if I press enter, they will ask the password again. You see now this information, they remove the borders. So that's how it is. We can also redirect this to our file. So I'm going to just use the same command and put a greater than, which is a redirection, and I'm going to just call this just new. So if I press enter, again provide the password to my database, and now here I'm going to just say ls new. So you see our new is present, and when we say cut new, you see that our information has been redirected here, which is better. So now we can just go on further and we write a bash script. So now here you can use any text editor which you want. Now here I'm going to just go with nano. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say nano, and I'm going to say sql.sh. So if I press enter, now here to write our bash script, we need to start with our shebang, which is #bin/bash, just like that. So now here we can write our SQL command, and we can use a greater than and end of file, but of course you can choose any name. So now here we are going to say MySQL, which is -u, then we provide the username, which is root, and we say -p for the password. So now here I can provide the password or just start redirecting our information right away. So here I'm going to just say redirect, and I'm going to say, let's say end of file, just like that. So when I come here, this is where I can start writing my SQL lines. So here I'm going to say use school, which is a database that we want. I'm going to go to another line, and I'm going to say show tables. Now when you try to see that I'm not terminating at the end of my SQL queries, but of course they will go on and execute. So now when you come here at the end, let's say we want to stop here. Since I used this redirection, make sure you don't provide any space at the end, because it will be considered as the SQL statement itself. So when I type it like that, I'm going to press Ctrl O and enter, then Ctrl X to exit. So we have here a file which is called sql.sh. When you try to see, it is there. So in case you want to execute this, either you can make this executable, or you can just say bash, then you get your sql.sh. So if I type enter, you see they ask me the password for my database. I type the password to the database, and if I press enter, you see that here they have listed all tables in our database. In a few minutes, you have managed to run your SQL in our bash script. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel. You can feel free to leave a thumbs up, leave a message in the comment section in case you have any video suggestion you want me to create, and also you can share to friends that may be interested into this. Have a great day. Peace.